Gosh, that's a big question, isn't it? Why is talent management so important? There are any number of trends which I think are all combining and increasing the imperative for organisations to manage talent more effectively. Perhaps if we look at 3 or 4 or 5 of the main ones that I would see in the environment that we're operating in. First of all, globalization has to be one of the key things which is impacting in this area. So we're seeing not only the markets for goods and services becoming increasingly global, but labour markets as well. So clearly what that means is, as an employee with skills, with intellect, I have a much wider range of employers, potential employers, who I can approach to work with. And so the whole labour market globally is becoming much more competitive. And that's one of the key things which is really driving the talent management as a key priority in organisations today. Those organisations that can compete in that environment will succeed. And we'll see some that aren't able to compete and will therefore not be able to procure the talent that they're looking for. So globalization, I think, is one of the key trends. I think secondly, we're seeing a movement which has been happening for the past few decades towards a knowledge economy. And so again, if we dive back historically, in the 20th century, managers were largely concerned with managing tangible things, capital, land, and some intangibles in terms of brand and intellectual property rights, for example. But now we're seeing a situation where some people estimate that up to 50% of GDP is knowledge-based. So that means half of the revenue that organisations are able to generate comes not from capital assets, not from capital itself, but it comes from the intellect and the skills and the creativity that their people bring to the organisation. So when we start looking at that, we see what will differentiate one organisation from another. It's largely the people. It's the knowledge economy that we're seeing evolving. And so again, an organisation's ability to understand and to harness and to develop and grow the capabilities of their people is going to become much more a differentiator between organisations that win and organisations who don't win in the global knowledge-based economy that we're moving into.